Hi, I'm Jesse Hilbert.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hilbert.
And welcome
to Arthropod
Adventures.
Banter. Season 3, Episode 2, The Flushy Flyer.
Not the Flushy Flyer. It's Season 3, Episode 2, Mimic is the name.
Mimic is the name.
Today's arthropod can be found out walking around looking for its favorite host. That's right.
Host.
I said host, Charlie.
I said host.
Looking not even the least bit suspicious.
Suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious, right? No.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look suspicious.
It doesn't look like a stop sign or.
It doesn't look like a stop sign either. But it does blend in with the crowd.
Ooh,
And we always say, can
you guess what that is?
Today's episode brings us to the world of a very special wasp, Charlie. A very special wasp.
Definitely would never come out of his cave.
It doesn't live in a cave.
Or a bear.
I don't know if bears really live in caves most of the time. I think that's just like a thing we say.
And
They just kind of live wherever they need to.
Don't go near eyeballs and people.
I mean, bears don't want to go near people. But can we get back to the wasp?
I want to stay on people.
All right. You want to stay on bears? Bears are not arthropods. They're mammals.
Okay, let's just learn about.
Okay, let's learn about this very special wasp, Charlie. And I didn't even know it existed until not that long ago.
I said bear.
We're not doing bears. This is an arthropod podcast. Okay. Now, Charlie, this arthropod was suggested by Jess from Happy... No, not me. No, that's me.
Leslie.
No. This was suggested by Jess from Happy Little Habitat on Instagram. If you don't follow them, you totally should. They produce some amazing work on native plants and arthropods. Okay? She cares for all plants and animals and shares lots of knowledge, Charlie. So it's definitely a thing to check out on Instagram, right? And they should always check out our Instagram, arthropod_adventures_podcast. Definitely check that out. Now, Charlie, this episode...
It's an earwig.
No, we already did earwig. This episode produced its own challenges because finding information about this...
Eyeballs, it does not see.
No, this animal sees.
Oh.
Okay. But I didn't find a lot of information about it. And you know what? It doesn't even really live here in the United States that I found. But its scientific name, this is a cool one, is...
Cucumber?
No. It's Gillis agilis.
Jealous light ball.
No. Its genus, Gillis, comes from Sudanese, meaning pretty. Okay. And agilis comes from the Latin meaning agile or nimble. Think about like when you do gymnastics, you're very nimble and agile. Yeah. I told you in the beginning that this was a special wasp, and it is in so many ways.
Bone its sake.
Most notably in appearance, as it's lacking wings of any kind. It doesn't have any wings, Char. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Most people associate wasps with flying things like paper wasps, which people don't really like, but we love. And like everything in life, there's always exceptions. Our feature exceptions.
Exceptions for mouse.
Okay. Our featured arthropod is just one of those exceptions, and I'm sure we'll touch on others in future episodes. Not having wings could be seen as a disadvantage for some, but to a wasp that wants to look like an ant, it's beneficial.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Believe it or not, ants are not on a lot of creatures' menus. I mean, lots of things don't want to eat them.
What?
Yeah, unless they... Like what?
Like an ant. They want to eat. They don't want to eat them.
Yeah, they don't want to eat. Lots of things don't want to eat the ants. Unless they're like a creature that has evolved to be like a specialist and really want to eat the ants.
No, maybe a spider.
You know, we're going to talk about that. Okay? And what?
They could think about mouses or ants.
Okay. Now, I want you to think about every spider web you've seen. With all the ants in this world, like I think it's like 20 quadrillion ants. You don't see a lot of ants tangled in spiders' webs, Char.
No.
Yeah.
Unless they're like spider ants.
You know what? Because spiders don't like the exoskeleton on ants. They don't really bother them.
No, because they are trying to be protected on their way.
Okay. Now, this wasp not only looks like an ant, but when the time comes, they can smell like an ant.
Ew.
Isn't that cool? Imagine being able to change the way you smell. Well, I mean, I don't want you to smell like an ant, but for the wasp, here's why, Charlie. When they feel threatened, they release a special pheromone called sulcatone.
Sulcatone
Yeah.
is like...
It makes them smell like an ant. And this is the same scent that ants give off when they want to call in the troops for support. So when they want more ants to come help them, they release this pheromone. And it lets would-be predators know, or at least think, that they have encountered an ant and should back away. OMG is right, because this wasp wants things to think it's an ant. So that way, it doesn't get messed with. Now, Charlie, they're pretty small, okay? About 5 millimeters.
5 millimeters?
That's less than quarter of an inch.
That's a less than quarter of a...
Less than a quarter of an inch.
Or earwig.
We're not doing earwigs right now. I do love earwigs, though.
I do love spiders.
I love spiders.
I do like buttons.
Buttons? I mean, buttons are functional. Now, Char,
They do not...
these wasp is a darker in color.
They do not go on... And buttons do not go on ants.
No.
Never.
Now, they're black and even have some lightish reddish color. So there seems to be some variation in the colors. But this mostly mimics the black garden ant, so the color should match accordingly, right?
Yeah, we're not ever rainbow ant or anything rainbow.
Okay. Now, the legs are a more red-brown color.
Yeah, they're a little bit red, more blanner.
Yeah, okay.
Pink.
And they have 2 long antennas.
Oh, OMG, they could be any color, like a speaker.
No, not any color. We just talked about what color.
What color?
The legs are reddish brown, and their bodies are like a black. And they have 2 compound eyes that make up most of their head.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Now, I will say that the only part of this creature that looks like a wasp to me is her abdomen, which has that...
Look like a wasp.
Well, I'll tell you why, because it's got like a thin, narrow waist, like I think about like wasps, like a mud dauber or something like that. The thin waist allows her to move her abdomen into position so that she can lay her eggs on her host.
Wow.
Yeah, wait till we get to this, Charlie. Now, it may look like it has a stinger, but this is one wasp that will not sting you. This is where she will lay her eggs from. It's her ovipositor. Now, I think the coolest thing about this wasp is that it's not only
It's not a bee. It's like a kind of pinkish.
It's not a bee. It's not pinkish. We just talked about its color. You're silly today.
It's yellow and red. Oh, it's yellow and
No,
brown.
it's not. You know,
It's yellow.
it's brownish and it's got black body, like brownish, reddish legs.
Bees have yellow and brown.
Some bees do. Not all bees. Bees come in lots of crazy colors.
Black, brown,
Yeah.
white, tan, teal.
Okay. Now, Charlie,
Yeah.
can I get back on track?
What?
Okay. Now, this is not only a parasitoid wasp, Charlie, but it's a hyperparasitoid. Hyperparasitoid. This means that these other parasitoids that go after other parasitoids.
Like other.
Now, that's a lot of parasitoiding. I just made that word up.
Why did you do
I
that?
don't know, because it was funny. The jealous agilis will go after other parasitoids like the Dinocampus coccinella or the Catesia glamerata.
Excuse me, what's the cock?
That is another kind of parasitoid wasp. But this wasp wants to lay its eggs on those wasps. Here, so ready? Get for this. This is a boss move, Charlie. This wasp doesn't need a man. Doesn't need a man to reproduce. They reproduce asexually. Okay? That means without a partner. The wasp will feed on the host's hemolymph, which is like insect blood, Charlie.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it gets on to this other wasp, feeds off of her insect blood, this hemolymph, and that's what she will use to reproduce her eggs. Without a boy. No boy wasp here.
Oh
Now,
my god.
I may not have been able to obtain as much research as I would have liked, but I think we presented a pretty cool insect to everyone, and it has some unique features that have helped it survive and thrive. The fact that it's a hyperparasitoid is just stunning to me, and that its mimicry goes as far as to not only be in looks, Charlie, but also in the way it moves, so that it moves like an ant, yes, and smells like an ant. The smell one is the most fascinating part to me, to change its scent with the pheromones.
Ugh.
Now, it may not live around us, but that doesn't mean we don't have parasitoid wasps, and it doesn't mean that, you know what, maybe one day this creature doesn't find its way over here. So always take pictures of those parasitoid wasps you find, and you know what, you can send a few our way, okay? So the next time you think you see an ant, Char,
Yeah, you like take a picture and you send it to us on the TV.
yeah, and then you look at an ant, get a little closer, check out its waist, look at its long antennas, and see if what we're truly looking at is an ant, or maybe, as a Transformers, it's more than meets the eye.
Or not a